So through trial and error, we found out that you have to get at all the mounting pieces, which I'll show you in a second, by removing the mirror glass. You would never have thought of that, I don't think. We didn't think of it, and ended up breaking this small piece, which I've repaired, but I'll explain that in one moment. The way to repair these is actually by delaminating the mirror glass from the mounting backing plate. So you've got the mirror glass fits on the backing plate with two-sided tape, comes off. You would have to just very gently pry into the mirror, heat it up first, pry into the mirror, get as many spots as you can, and then very gently pull it off. It came off, in this case, without too many problems. I taped it up, obviously, to stop it from breaking, help it to stop from breaking. Stop. So what we found from trial and error is you've got to remove this mirror from the backing plate. So you've got this assembled like this, very much like this one. You would get the mirror off. Probably easier said than done, even now. So very carefully peel the mirror away from the backing plate. Put this over here. You'd end up with the backing plate like so. Inside, you have this piece, which is mounted with 3 screws. Screws go in here, 3 screws. So this is what it'll look like when you get it apart. You'll have this swivel piece sitting there mounted. Once you get that out, you'll see 2 screws here and another one here. You take these screws out and the trim piece will come off. There's one more screw here. The trim piece will come off, and then you can mount this new section that I have here with the new clips and so on. So this is the brand new section. I've put this back together so far. I've screwed these screws in. Excuse me. And now it's a matter of reattaching this. That's a little bit trickier than it seems. As I said, this will be mounted. You can see there's 1 screw here, 2 over here. This will be mounted in here, this swivel piece. But the reason you have to keep the mirror glass off, because this swivel piece, which I've had to repair, this breaks very easily. So when I was taking it apart, it actually broke, so be very careful with that. The swivel piece, it may not show up very well, but the swivel piece fits inside this cup. This fits inside the cup, but this may be very difficult to see. But inside this mounting, there are mounting pieces, mounting holes. Each end of this is slightly different. One of these ends goes inside the mounting hole. I won't do it right now because once it's, well, I will try to do it, but once it's done, it's actually very difficult to undo. But you get it inside the mounting hole, and then the other side slides up into this sort of saddle here where it fits into. So you get one side into the hole, slide the other side, slide it up, and then it'll be mounted securely on the swivel and it'll swivel. Then once you've done that, you can then put it back into the main piece like this. Again, I won't do it at this moment. Put it in there, mount this on with the 3 screws, make sure that you've got it, of course, aligned the right way when you put it in. And then if your tape is still good and sticky, this one actually, after 15 years, is relatively sticky, but I may add a little more adhesive to it, remount your mirror, and then you're back in business. And in this case, I will have brand new plastic, brand new clips, and hopefully this will stay on properly. You'll have seen from other videos that people will rig up zip ties or something to make sure the mirror, if it does pop off, doesn't drop to the ground. So hopefully I've saved a lot of people a lot of time and aggravation, I should say. Again, you need to take apart the mirror assembly from a K1200. Very carefully remove the mirror glass. It's just stuck or laminated onto a plastic backing plate. I would heat this up thoroughly and carefully peel it off very carefully. Cover it with tape. Once you get that off, you'll be left with an assembly something along this line with a hole in the middle to get at the screws. Take out the 3 screws that mount the swivel mount. Pull out the swivel mount. You get access to the screws that are in this piece. Take out those screws, 1 more screw here. Pull the pieces apart. You'll end up with this free. This is the piece, $94 from BMW, that holds the clips that snap the mirror onto the side. If you need a new one, like I did here, you can get a new one. Or you can try, as I've attempted, to repair the old one without going through all this trouble. I've epoxied this piece to try to make it stronger. I'm not convinced that this will work, by the way. I put new clips in here. The clips are cheap to buy. This may or may not work. If it does, great. If it doesn't, I'll have to invest another $94 in another piece for this. That's it. Thanks.